what I'm talking about. That's why Eagly's the GOAT. The GOAT! Or should I say, that's why he's the duck, the hummingbird. Fucking bird blindness. If you couldn't already tell, I just got done watching Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2, and I'm just itching to talk about it and watch the next episode. Because so much happened. Crazy reveals, crazy cameos. James Gunn gave Eagly some aura and a whole lot of fun. Now I'm going to be recapping the entire episode with my honest, spoiler-filled thoughts of the episode, so if you're not trying to be spoiled, make sure you drop a like and follow, but come back after because I do want to hear your thoughts. But either way, me and you know what we got to do. We got to talk about it. So we pick up this episode with a flashback to 8 months ago, shortly after Rick Flag Sr. has taken over Argus. And his first order of business to John Economos is to give him the file on what happened to his son Rick Flag Jr. in Corto Maltese. We get some nice little flashbacks to the fight between Rick Flag Jr. and Peacemaker. Peacemaker, what a joke. And they actually had that in a file. Like, they had his final words. Who wrote that file? Peacemaker? That Peacemaker, what a joke is never gonna not hit like crack. And that's when he immediately goes to Sasha Bordeaux. By the way, God bless America, God bless James Gunn, and gentlemen, start your end! And tasks her with having 24/7 surveillance on Chris Smith. Shit, he would do 25/8 if he could. It was fuck Peacemaker. And that's when we pick back up with our current situation and the other me is dead. And let's just say Chris is having trouble keeping his variant's body hidden. Remember kids, nobody hates you as much as you hate you. And apparently no one hates love like Kia and Ads hate love because they broke up. But you could tell Kia has essentially moved on while Ads still thinks they're on a break. I mean, we had a feeling when we saw her in the worst level of Grand Theft Auto last week. But it's nice to start getting some more development on Ads because, to be honest with you, outside of Peacemaker, she's one of my favorite characters. But they're left still trying to pick up those pieces. That's when we pick back up with Economos still spying on Chris Smith's house until we get one of my goats, my dog Tim Meadows, pulling up as Langston Fury, and immediately his presence is felt throughout this entire episode. But yeah, and the reason he's got his hands up is because Economos slow ass brought his gun out and he still has the holster on it. Like, bro, what are we doing? Langston immediately gives him another nickname instead of Diebeard. Now he's Ginger Cool. Sound like a fucking gum. Turns out he was sent by Sasha Bordeaux to spy on Economos, spying on Chris Smith. Spyception? But let's just say the inside of Peacemaker's house looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. As brother was casually going through his morning routine, getting a cup of coffee, getting the newspaper. Who still gets newspapers? Ain't you ever heard of Twitter? He quickly realizes he has a big mess to clean up, so he calls his boy AC. But prior to AC pulling up, Ads pulls up to his house, which is when Tim Meadows, I'm not gonna call him Lynx, I'm gonna call him Tim Meadows most likely, immediately asks, who is that? She fine shit for real. And when Economos gives him a dirty look, he doubles down on that shit. He says, I'm sorry I made you feel uncomfortable. How about instead of that, I say, I want to dick her down. I just think it's the way that Tim Meadows delivers all of his lines that just has me cracking up every single time. We find out that Ads pulls up to do Economos' favor and find out more about that quantum tunnel portal thing he's got, the QOC. He ends up telling her about the QOC, saying sorry that he just grew up with it, similar to how she grew up being a Christian Methodist. But that's when Adrian pulls up, and of course he's mad that he wasn't a part of the orgy. And he brings up a good point, like very valid point, saying that Peacemaker really only calls him when he has a mess to clean up and never to just do fun shit. And when Adrian pulls up, of course Tim Meadows hits him with he looked like he caught all the Pokemon. Super fucking nerd. This is also when Eagly pops out and Tim Meadows says, is that a duck? We find out that he has bird blindness. It's like being colorblind, but instead of colors, it's birds. Like, he legit can't tell the size between birds. Like, it's stupid, but it's kind of funny. This will play a huge factor somehow in the story later on. Keep 1 second. Anyway, Peacemaker takes Vigilante to go clean up his dead body. Y'all trying to see a dead body? And he gets a bone saw to start chopping up his own self's body. Like, that's gotta be some fucked up saw shit going on. And bone saw is ready. But they use that little furnace that this alien creature keeps throwing those rats in as he pops out and he sees them burning this dead body. Peacemaker basically says, fuck you, man. You never said hi to me. Get the fuck out of here. That's when Peacemaker starts going through his variant's phone and he sees there's a bunch of pictures of Harcourt on it and just looking like a very happy couple. And you could tell that temptation is starting to set in. So Langston puts together a team of somewhat remarkable people, and they have a classic James Gunn joke of a conversation about a housewarming gift and yada yada yada. But it turns out Peacemaker's going to a house party, so while he's out, they're gonna storm his house and try to find where the fucking QOC is at. And I'm not gonna hold you, it was fun to see the 11th Street kids finally come together. Like, I didn't know Peacemaker calls Economos Econogoat. He went from Diebeard to Econogoat. That's what I call character arc. And you can tell there's still, like, to use Star-Lord's words, an unspoken thing between Harcourt and Peacemaker. But while all that's going down, Tim Meadows and his crew start to infiltrate Chris Smith's house. And he starts to give everyone code names, which I thought was funny as hell. One of them is Mexicali, one of them is Encino Man, she's titties because she's a girl. Like, but you know what they say about fucking around, right? You find out real quick because Eagly is the goodest boy possible when it comes to watching the house while Chris is out. Eagly's protecting the house, dropping bodies. Meanwhile, Tim Meadows is trying to shoot the bird, but he can't fucking tell how big it is because of his bird blindness. Dog, Eagly was moving different. Look at this dominant control. He was on top the entire time, bro. If this was the UFC, he would have won all 3 rounds. He actually pokes Buddy's eye out. And as he pulls the eye out, we get this beautiful, muy magnifique shot of the blood in the sky across the moonlight. Oh, it's beautiful. Kind of reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when Rocket's beating up all those fucking Ravagers. Anyway, they had Eagly out there moving like 2016 unanimous MVP Steph Curry because he could not miss. As he just stood there admiring the work that he accomplished as the goodest boy possible. And then this motherfucker James Gunn gave him a needle drop slow motion walk scene. He manufactured some aura for a eagle. What are we talking about? James Gunn is different. What can't he do? A Hardcore and Peacemaker try to have another conversation at the 11th Street Kid party, but it does not go great because Chris is a habitual bag fumbler. And meanwhile, in the background, we got Adrian Vigilante fucking pulling a Chris Bosh after they won a championship in Miami. That's when Chris drunkenly goes back home, kind of sad and depressed after everything that happened with Hardcore and his life in general. Notices that Eagly probably protected the house and gives him a noogie because of it. Because that's the goodest boy possible. Damn, I need to domesticate myself a fucking eagle. I already got a xenomorph. How hard could it be to get an eagle? But shit gets real crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious when you start drunk texting and shit. Because fellas, we have all been there. Ladies, you have been on the receiving end of this most likely. He sends the hey with just a period to the Amelia Hardcore from the different universe. So realizes it didn't deliver because I don't think there's a provider out there that sends text multiversally. So he ends up doing what the drunks do best and making a horrible decision by going back to that universe. But swish, he got the hay back with a broken heart. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back in there like swimwear. As we end the episode on this illustrious back shot of Chris just sitting down in his home, taking it all in. And he should be proud because that was a very special performance. Now it's time to gaslight her without knowing that you're gaslighting her because your other variant was probably a dickhead to her. But now this new world is your oyster. Hey man, say man, I don't care what anyone says. Eagly was the MVP of this episode. He was moving different. And I also think this episode is alluding to the fact that we're going to see Rick Flag Jr. in this separate universe, probably going to be the one that's dating Amelia Hardcore in that universe because we know she's dating a jarhead. So that's going to be a trip when Chris sees the dude he killed. I wonder if he's going to say Peacemaker. What a joke. Oh my God, he might say Peacemaker. You're a hero. But all in all, spectacular. Give me 14 more episodes now. They're setting the table for us. They're giving us some foreplay, and now it's time to fuck. And I cannot wait for episode 3. I need to watch it now. But let me know what you thought about this episode. My thoughts, theories, and opinions down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more. I admire the work you just accomplished, Eagly. I like that. Hey, did James Gunn just give Eagly aura? Hold on, wait a minute, son. We got to pause there for a second just so I can break that down because that right there was truly special. That shit crazy action that I've seen from a guard eagle. Could you imagine having a guard eagle, not even a guard dog? Like, you thought like pit bulls, fucking cane corsos, Rottweilers gonna help your house out? No. It's time to domesticate an eagle. As a matter of fact, how do I do that? Somebody tell me how I can domesticate an eagle because I need one right now more than I need air. Shit, they probably in the air. But oh my goodness, that reminded me a lot of Rocket fighting the Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Didn't hit as hard just because that one had a cool needle drop and it was just visually stunning. I think it was mainly just because of the moonshot. But that was hilarious. Like I wasn't expecting Eagly to just pop up out of nowhere like Randy Orton. That shit was funny as hell. I legit thought they were going to get in the QOC already and we were going to get some shenanigans going. But Eagly said, not on my watch. This is what happens. What happens when you fuck around? You find out. I'm just waiting for the episode where Eagly just starts talking out of nowhere and none of us give a shit because it's Eagly. Like, he just like that for real. Like, I'm going to start putting respect on Eagly's name. I already did last season, but I'm going to put even more respect on it. There might not be enough honey in the world to pour on Eagly. And Tim Meadows is killing me with his line deliveries, bro. Like, just the way that dry ass delivery is just killing me every single time. Every time he says the code words, I'm just in stitches, bro. Titties, Encino Man, get in here. Fucking bird blindness, that shit. I love this show, bro. I just got a big ass smile on my face like I'm the damn Joker.